Let's go.
Let's rock.
Jimmy Juice Podcast, man.
Let's go, let's go.
Figgy Fig, best in the world, that's what he do, know what I'm talking about. Ryan Rockett, born and raised in the H-Town, Houston, Texas. Know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Let's go, in the jacuzzi, smoking threats, I got my feet up, cut them haters off, I told them beat it, I don't need you, spend 50 racks in cash, but it's all good, I got my visa, this rolling got them staring at me like the Mona Lisa, my ghetto, Nike, I beat it like a creature, she always like my sneakers, these Jordan 5 pink aces, let's go, I'm knocking them down, back in the row, he really the one, but they already know, so none of my chains go put on the show,
giving up gins, sipping my juice. Counting the beans, addicted to ends. Sit back in on whatever I do. We get it in on the daily. I get it rocking like this with the 80. We really 10-toe down on the pave. What's up? We about to see what they saying.
Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. Let's go. Gym, sippin' juice. Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. So let's go.
Yeah.
I caught a plane out to Cleveland late last evening.
Where the bitches at? It's supposed to be titties. Where the fucking titties and bitches?
Gems and juice.
Toby be good nigga from Master. Toby be good from Master. Good nigga. Remember back in the days, man, them days is over.
Best drops in the game, man. Best drops in the game. Welcome back to another exciting edition. Probably a much shorter edition this week because not a whole lot on the agenda. But just kind of recap some things, kind of shoot the shit as usual. My man Figgy Fig back at it with me, of course. How do you feel about this, man? Because I was looking at some podcast news, and by the way, we didn't gatekeep our Drake review of Iceman. We actually put it out for free for everybody. Yeah, not like some other super famous podcasts. But I saw something that basically implied that podcasts are going to start moving towards a subscription-based type thing instead of just everyone listen to it for free on whatever app or YouTube. And I think that's kind of been kicked off by Joe Budden being very successful in his Patreon exclusive podcasts and whatnot. But people are saying that that's going to be the future. It's not just going to be DraftKings gives you a bunch of money for a podcast. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel like people will actually pay subscription money for podcast content?
I think yes and no. I think Joe Budden did a good job with how he built his fan base because it wasn't always like that. It was totally free at one point. And I think he kind of built he got probably one of the most loyal fan bases out there when it comes to hip hop podcasts. And he built that up from the ground. And now I think it got to a point where, where certain he was only doing it with Drake whenever some type of Drake content was going on. He did it during the beef where he put it behind the paywall as well. And a lot of people are dying to see what he got to say about it. I think he kind of built that trust. And I think if you do it like that, I think you could get away with it. And I said this years ago, man, I could see him just going strictly, every episode is behind a paywall. But I can see him doing that at this point. And I think it's kind of smart a little bit because I feel like a lot of people kind of make a little bread off of his opinions because we see a lot of his clips, especially a lot of his strong opinions on shit. And next thing you know, you see a lot of big time news outlets and stuff like that piggybacking off of it. So I think that's probably one of the reasons he started putting shit behind the paywall. But the shit still get out there. But I think a lot of people just gonna feel that FOMO. Let me pay this $15 so I can see this whole episode. So I do think people are going to try that because I don't think it's a lot of money in podcasts. That's why you see a lot of turnover where you have some people doing a podcast for a little bit and then they just stop because they ain't making no money. But I think people are going to try it. Me personally, I just can't see myself paying for content. Like I didn't pay to see what Joe Budden had to say on the album. I just can't do it, man. And I think he did it two episodes in a row. And one even talk about the Drake album. So me, I think look, it's kind of like we was talking about the haircuts before the show, before the podcast, how they just going up, and the last barber I had, he went up to like 60, and I'm just like, nah, I can't do it. I think that's where I'm at with it. Like it's cool if it's around my range, but I'm super fine with just walking away. Like I'm good. I don't think I need to stick around if I gotta pay money to see that. Just something I enjoy on my off time, because I'm not like a diehard Joe Budden fan where I listen to every single episode, every single minute of it. Sometimes I put it on if I ain't got nothing to do, and most of the times I'm skipping around. So I'm not about to pay for it, man. So I think a lot of people won't. But also a lot of people will. It's a lot of people. Salute to the people that actually support podcasts, man. There's a lot of people that will just pay to support. And I respect that part. Me personally, I'm just not that type of, I'm not that deep in the sticks when it comes to podcasts or something.
No, I'm with you, man. I think if podcasts shift that way, it'll be like basically the death of the podcast, I feel. I think the spirit will be completely different. You know, before people really don't remember the early podcast days, even before like the hip hop podcast, it was just a space for people. You know, there were comedy podcasts, entertainment, but it was always around a theme. It was something you would just get and chill out to. You didn't pay money. None of it cost money. That was the main appeal. None of it cost money. And I think we're being conditioned in general to start accepting paying for things that used to be free. One thing that kind of reminds me of, you know, how internet gaming used to be on consoles, where the shit used to just be free. You just put a cable into your PS2 and you're online, you know.
Yeah.
Then the Xbox came out and they said, hey, to use Xbox Live, you got to pay $20 a month. But the Xbox Live was so fire, it had voice chat and all this stuff. You're like, okay. But then that became the industry standard. Now every console, you got to pay for the online. It used to be free, except for PC. PC's always been free. But everything else, you got to pay for the online now. If you want to play NBA 2K online, you got to pay some kind of subscription service and buy the game just to play it online. And that's the same thing with podcasts. Like, you can't tell me suddenly after it's done jump the shark that now we have to start paying for it. You know, yeah. I got to pay money to see the Jaylen Brown podcast or some shit. Come on, man. I don't care that much. I'll just wait for the clips like everybody else.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And I don't think it's anybody out there where I'm like, man, I gotta pay to see what his opinion is. Only person I will pay for if they did something was Jay-Z. If Jay-Z dropped some type of exclusive episode, so I don't think he gonna do no fucking podcast, but if he dropped some type of episode, somebody had an episode with, let's say, the New York Times or something had an exclusive podcast episode where he talked about everything, and I'm like, okay, it's a couple hours or some shit, I will probably consider paying for it so I can see it because that's something I'm interested in. But I'm not interested in paying a monthly fee to listen to Joe Budden. I'm sorry, and I think he's cool. I rock with. I don't have no issue with him. But that's anybody. I think Joe Budden is the higher standard. But I don't see myself doing that with anybody else, man. It could be Barack Obama. Like I'm not paying no money to see no money every single month, like a subscription. Like I rather like I don't even want to pay for Netflix. and there's a lot more entertainment on there. So I rather just see the clips. And people do a good job posting the clips.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not paying the $5, man. I'm not doing it.
That shit, I looked today. That shit was like 15. It was like $15.99 for their last episode.
Wait, just the last episode, not the monthly subscription? That's how much it cost for that episode?
I think it was $15.99. Yeah.
What? I didn't know he was charging per. I thought it was like a tier list where if you subscribe and pay so much, you get all the exclusive stuff. I didn't know he was paying per podcast.
See, the thing is, I think this is the other thing. You had the tier list, which was like $5, $10, $25, and all that. I think, well, from the complaints I've been seeing online, some people had like a certain tier list, and they still couldn't get the fucking episode.
That's crazy.
So I'm just
that's too greedy, man.
Yeah. So at that point, I'm like, nah, I'm cool, man. I ain't got time for doing all that. I listen to something else before I do all that.
Nah, Joe Budden's entertaining, but he ain't that entertaining, man. I ain't paying no $15 for a 2-hour podcast where he just talks about Iceman.
Yeah.
But I like shout out to people who do support. Like I have nothing against supporting a podcast, donating. I think that was the main way to do it back in the day. You donate to things you like. You donate to podcast content creators. It wasn't like a necessary thing, but if you felt generous and like their shit, you can donate. I had nothing against that. But the charging for the content itself is something like at the end of the day, just niggas' opinions, man. It's not like super important shit we need to be hearing.
Yeah, and see how I feel about it. I think, I think it's cool that people do support it. Like I ain't gonna shame nobody for doing that or paying to see an episode or anything like that. But it's kind of like, I remember you had a time where artists, like actual painting artists who would make a painting or something, they'd be trying to charge like 50 grand for something they did. And it's like, well, it's my art. I created this. So, I charge the price I want, which is fine. But also I can say, no, I'm not paying that money for that. Like, that's my personal opinion. I don't think that painting is worth that. Mm-hmm. So you could charge whatever you want, but don't shame me because I feel like that's not the price I want to pay. That's out of my range. So that's how I kind of look at it, man. I feel like that type of content is out of my range. I'm not learning anything from it. And, like I said, I'm not shaming anybody for paying for it, but if I'm gonna pay for something, it's gonna be how to fucking build a house or some shit. It's gonna be something I could benefit off of.
Side hustles.
Yeah. It ain't gonna be just to hear, somebody glazing the Drake album or something like that. I'm just, I just don't have anybody I would pay for to do that to.
No, I feel you, man. I feel you. I mean, if y'all want to donate to us, of course, we always do appreciate it.
Yeah,
but we're not going to start charging for this podcast, man. We don't.
Nah,
we're not that self-important. Speaking of Iceman, though, let's kind of well, first off, RP Rob Bass. Just saw that today. Rob Bass, of course, the legendary one of, I think, maybe the 3 top white people rap songs of all time. We had a list at one point.
Oh yeah,
white people's favorites rap songs, and In the Club is up there. It Takes Two by Rob Bass is up there. Gangsta's Paradise is up there. What else? Baby Got Back is up there.
Yep. DMX. Was it Party Up?
Y'all gonna make me lose my? Yeah, that's up there.
Yeah, we need to come up with that list again.
We do. We already did it, but we got to revisit it maybe. But Rob Bass, of course, of This Takes Two fame, passed away. He was pretty young still, too. I forget how old he was, but
50, 58 or 50. He was 59.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
Did they say what happened or?
Nah, I think let me look if there was any. I don't think they said anything. Oh, he had cancer.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah. Also, out of nowhere, Kyle Busch died too. I don't know if he's a NASCAR driver.
Yeah,
At 41.
that one shocked me, man. That one kind of got to me a little bit because he was just racing last week, I think, or a couple weeks ago. I think he won. He won something, and he was giving the interview and all that stuff. And I think it's a video out there. I think he might have been driving, or he said something like he got to go to the hospital and he needed a doctor or something like that. But he went to the hospital. I want to say he was in there for like 6 hours and then died. So it just really came out of nowhere. I'm like, man,
it's scary, man. That's one of those things I wish I didn't hear because I'm 39 and this is somebody who I'm sure was fine the day before and then something went wrong. He fucking dropped dead, man. That's what I'm kind of scared of now as I get older. Like you think 39, 40 is still young, and it is relatively, but you could still die at any moment, man. You never know what the fuck's gonna happen. So
yeah, it's really scary when you die of health complications.
Yeah,
stuff you didn't even know about. Where you like, whoa, I didn't know he had that. So that is very scary, man. He was 41 years old.
So not in bad shape, still competing, everything. Just
yeah,
out of nowhere, man. Crazy. So yeah, RIP.
Yeah.
And I guess we could kind of talk about some NBA playoffs. I've been tapped in. I'm surprised that I've been kind of tapped in on the NBA playoffs, man. It's kind of fire. No, I've kind of ignored Cavs and Knicks, but OKC and Spurs is good basketball.
Hey, Wemby is doing this thing, man. Yes. It kind of made me jealous of not jealous, but kind of upset that the Rockets didn't get that number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they'd be up to that standard, but man, it's saying like if you look at the Spurs, remember the Spurs was kind of bad. They end up getting Wemby. And then to make things worse, they end up drafting a couple players that the Rockets could have drafted. At one point, they drafted Stephon Castle and just some other players, and it's just like, damn, man. And they look like they championship mode. It might be the dynasty Spurs again.
Yeah, I mean, look, I want to hate on Wemby and San Antonio because they're San Antonio. But I can't, man. I like the team. I like Wemby. As much as I would love to see Wemby in Houston, I think he's right where he belongs, man. In terms of a good organization that can help him and keep him humble and, is more mature. I don't know how Wemby will look in Houston.
Yeah.
I don't know how he look in Houston, man. It's too much negative influences on a young, very early 20s black man who's as tall as he is. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think he's right where he belongs. And yeah, just it's great to watch, man. I'm sorry, I still can't stand Shea. I'm rooting against OKC no matter what. I just hope somebody takes him out. I can't stand them. I can't stand that team. I want them out. So Spurs gotta lock in.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Look, it's a joy. Like I really enjoy watching Wemby, man. It was a couple times where I'm like, damn, this is something.
When he pulled up with that 3 late in game 1, dog, I'm like, this like somebody made in a lab. They made this nigga in a lab. Like when you do create a player in an NBA game and gave him max stats on everything.
Yeah,
tall as fuck. That was crazy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. There's some shit that you never thought you would see. And we were just talking about how LeBron, it's probably gonna be over for LeBron, who's gonna take the torch. Man, he's gonna take the torch. This is somebody that's must watch TV. Like somebody that's not a basketball fan. This is the perfect time for them to sit down and be like, hey, look at this guy right here. This dude is 7'5" or whatever he is. And look how fast he moved. Look how he could dribble and shoot and do everything. Look how he block everything. that's somebody you will sit down and be like, man, you got to watch this team. Like I don't think you had anybody like that in a long time.
Yeah, nah. I think he look, if he stays healthy, I think this is his league, basically. It's gonna look like, it's funny because people are starting to realize maybe Wilt Chamberlain's stats weren't fake. Looking at Wemby, I'm like, he's gonna be that mythical thing where it's just you have to see him to believe him. And you
Yeah,
have to see him play. Like you can't believe there's a player this tall and this good in the NBA right now. So it's
yeah.
the same.
It's just somebody that's must watch, man. Like we talked about, I know Shea won the MVP for the second year in a row, but I wouldn't dare tell anybody, hey, you got to watch how he play. Like to me, I don't enjoy watching him play like that. Like he's cool. He's not as bad as and I hate to disrespect James Harden in Houston, but
Mhm.
sometimes James Harden was a rough watch. Just the foul baiting and that type of stuff can be a rough watch. I wouldn't sit and tell nobody you got to watch him. But I'm kind of like that with Shea. I just, he's cool. I ain't taking nothing away from him. But the foul baiting and all of that shit, it's just sometimes it just drives me crazy. So I don't know. I like Wemby, man.
Yeah, and look, I don't blame Shea for taking advantage of something that's working for him. So I'm not gonna knock it, but just the annoying thing is he's good enough to where he doesn't need to do all that.
Yeah.
He's already a good enough player. He don't need to foul bait as egregiously as he does, acting like he gets shot anytime anybody's anywhere near him. I'm like, all right, man. But so I need them to get taken out. I need the Spurs to make that next step. I'll be jealous as a Houston Rockets fan, but I would rather see the Spurs in the finals than OKC again. The ratings are doing good now. We got to keep it up. Get these motherfuckers out of here, man.
Now, if the Spurs get to the finals versus the Knicks, who do you want to win? You want the Knicks to win and be these irritating ass New
Oh
York fans?
God. Oh man.
It's gonna be nasty. You might as well cut the TV off
Yeah.
because there's
Either
gonna be so much
way.
glazing and
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson, the best Nick of all time, and he's top five. He's the top 2 point guard, but behind Steph, it's gonna be all type of bullshit going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I want to see the Knicks win. Even though Spurs winning would suck too. Oh man. That's rough. I really have to think about that, man. I can't. That really is two of the worst options.
Or would you rather the Cleveland Cavaliers and James Harden win one? If you had your choice.
Oh, that's also bad. Oh, no. I would rather that not happen than anything because that's actually. I don't. We just had these hardened dick riders pipe down a little bit. I don't want them to get gassed up again.
Yeah.
So, no matter what, I'm surprised I'm liking the NBA playoffs as much because really it's all bad results from here on for me, no matter who wins. So, but I'm still locked in, man. It's still good to watch.
As crazy as it sounds, it seemed like the Cinderella story is the Spurs.
Honestly,
yeah, that's more the Cinderella story because I think the Cavs is probably the worst team in the playoffs currently, just seed wise. But I don't know if that would do anything. I think just because of James Harden on the squad, I think people just don't want to see him win the ring. But people definitely don't want to see the Knicks win anything. And I think people tired of OKC already. I think a lot of people didn't really care for OKC. So I think the Knicks, not the Knicks, but the Spurs is probably the one you rather tolerate because of Wemby.
Yeah, I would have to go. Spurs would be least painful. Spurs is like a stomach ache. And fucking Knicks is like, I don't know, stage 3 of something really bad. I don't fucking yeah, I might have to go Spurs over anything, even though I don't want to see them win. I don't want to see their fans popping shit. You know, it's bad enough with these Cowboys fans out here. I don't want to deal with the Spurs fans getting all uppity too. So, yeah. I might go with Wemby though. I like Wemby, man. I like the team in general. It seemed like a bunch of chill dudes, and I don't know, I like watching them hoop.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I can't root against them.
Yeah.
With that all being said, let's kind of run back our Iceman discussion. Now I think we've had the collective opinions of the internet come in. We did our podcast the day the album came out. And since then, we've heard a lot of chatter. Of course, it's done record numbers. All three albums are predicted to be the first in music history to debut at 1, 2, and 3 on the Billboard, which I guess is why he did this. Just like pimping the charts and whatnot. But let's talk about first off the reaction to Iceman. Were you surprised that it seemed mostly negative outside of Joe Budden and friends who basically said the same things we did about how it was a more mature and vulnerable sounding Drake, and we applauded it. This album is kind of getting a lot of bad reviews from all the big critic platforms. So are you surprised by that, or did you kind of expect it?
I am kind of surprised by that because I felt like the one thing people wanted from Drake was kind of a rap album. And just from coming from a guy that's not a Drake stan or anything like that, I thought it was a really good album. I felt like a lot of people, I mean, I can't speak for the publications that was putting all these negative reviews out, but just people in general, it just seemed like they didn't, they was trashing the album. And I'm like, man, what are you looking for then? Because I feel like even the other two albums that we didn't even pay attention to, I feel like you'll like something out of all the shit he put out. And I'm just wondering, like, what are you looking for from Drake at this point? And maybe, I mean, it's totally fine if you're not a fan, but I'm like, man, this is probably some of the best Drake I heard in a long time, maybe since Views. Scorpion was fine, but I think it kind of came and went. But I felt like this was some top-notch Drake music. And I don't know. I just don't understand. Maybe people just have it out for him at this point. Maybe it's something personal. Because I just don't get how out of all the music he put out, people ain't really, digging it like that. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting how he still got a whole bunch of negative reviews. But, yeah, I felt even better with, I guess, the way we reviewed the album too, because I thought, I don't know. I thought I might have been reaching on some stuff. Like maybe it's not as mature as I thought, but it's kind of good to hear people having the same opinion as mine, where I'm like, okay, like I was on the right track there. I'm not, because sometimes I feel like I do be a little biased because I don't really care for Drake that much. But no, I just thought it was solid, man. I have no issues with this album at all. Or at least the Iceman album. So I don't understand what people are looking for unless they looking for R&B Drake. But I just don't understand what what you looking for.
Yeah, no, man, I agree. I was, I guess, a little surprised. The funniest reviews had to be from Pitchfork, obviously, one of the most pretentious music review platforms out there. They gave Iceman like a 4.5 out of 10, and they gave Maid of Honor an 8. So I'm like, all right, of course, Pitchfork gonna go that way.
By the way, Pitchfork, did you see the review they did on Chris Brown album?
Yeah, it's a 3.5 or something. Said it was a piece of shit.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, man. I don't know who that seemed like it was a little bit personal. And look, I'm not a Chris Brown fan. I ain't even attempt to go to that album, man. But damn, a piece of shit.
That was very funny. That was very funny. Like, no, that's the kind of review that makes you actually want to check out the album. So maybe it was like stealth promotion because I had no interest in a Chris Brown album. But if you gonna put a review like that out there, like, wait, maybe it's actually hilariously bad. Maybe I got to go check it. So, but yeah, that was doing the most.
Yeah. Hey, I don't think we brought this up last time during the album because the album just came out. So it was, I guess Drake threw a couple shots at Jay-Z in this album too. Did you catch him? Do you feel like
the jig is up and something else too? Go ahead.
Yeah, he pretty much said J. Cole ran the hole for some advice.
The second opinion, yeah.
Yeah, second opinion or something. Do you feel like I'm wondering if, and this is a bit stretch, I wonder if Jay-Z is kind of in album mode. I wonder if he's close to releasing something. And if so, do you think he will address Drake? It ain't gonna be no Kendrick Lamar versus Drake type deal, but do you think he gonna address Drake in a not Nas type of way, but kind of somewhat you ain't fucking with me type of way?
Oh, absolutely. Drake will get bars in the next project, whatever Jay-Z releases, whether it's just a verse for somebody or something else. Drake will get bars. Now, will we catch him or not? I don't know. I think he will make them obvious enough. But yeah, Drake will get them. He's somebody who's gotten them before, and they've gone back and forth already. And now it seems like they got beef again. So yeah, Drake is going to get bars.
Yeah. So. I'm kind of this is the first time in a long time where I'm like, damn, we need it. It's about time for another Hove album, man.
Yeah, it's past time, man. I know
his last album was before COVID. This is like 2017, 2018?
Yeah, 2017. I think we had basically like barely started our podcast at that point.
Yeah.
Reviewing 444.
Yeah. I think it's way past due, man. But yeah, I'm kind of curious because I was a little bit shocked that Drake actually addressed Jay-Z, like not even in a sneaky diss type of way. It seemed like it was kind of blatant. Like he didn't hide behind it. He said Hove, and he kind of said his name a little bit. So I was kind of shocked he was that direct with it. So I wonder if Jay-Z gonna be even more direct.
Yeah, I think Drake will get bars. I don't know how. I think they might be some light jabs. Like Drake is throwing some light jabs. Jay might throw a couple light jabs. Somebody initially gonna throw a hook, and then we'll see what's really gonna happen. But yeah, I think Drake will get bars from Jay. I believe it, and I do hope we do. I keep thinking that this PR rollout and this emergence out of nowhere that Jay-Z's been doing with the concerts and all the interviews he's been doing, I have to believe is leading towards something. I don't know if it's an album or what, but I would think that there's a point to all this happening out of nowhere with somebody like Jay-Z who never comes outside for shit like this usually. Now suddenly he's outside, and I would have to believe an album is coming, but I don't know. I've been wrong before. So
yeah, I wouldn't think he's doing all these interviews and stuff like this because of the Jay-Z concert. The concert is at the Yankee Stadium. So I wonder if he do have something in the works. So I'm curious to see. And also I saw this funny ass tweet. Somebody posted about like, oh, did I miss a Jay-Z drop the new single? And it was the I think it was the Feeling It song. He put it on, I think he put it on streaming or something like that. But it kind of had me cracking up because when I saw that, oh no, it was Who You With.
Oh yeah. I saw that post.
Yeah, because I'm like, what? I went to it. I'm like, man, I'm like, y'all never heard this fucking song. You never heard this fucking song before? It did. He tried to clean it up like, oh, I'm a Beyonce fan and all that shit. So like, whatever. But it seemed like I wonder if he's doing all of this clearly to, I guess, get those streams ran up once he do the show and all that, and everybody go back to the originals. So I wonder if he gearing up for that as well.
Yeah, I hope so, man. We'll see. I'm not going to get too hyped over album rumors because we've been hearing them for years with Jay, but hopefully this does result in something, a new album, and he can address everything, and we can have fun times in hip hop again, man. We'll see. But as far as the Iceman album reviews go, I was surprised, but then I kind of realized something, because it's funny how when I was most sick of Drake, he was his most popular. Around that Certified Lover Boy era, I was really sick of him in his music, but he was the most popular ever at that point and getting good reviews for the album too. So I think Drake is the kind of artist where you can't separate the art from how you feel about him, because his music is his life. So with Drake, if you don't like him as a person, you're not going to like him in his music no matter what it is, because you're going to hate the content. You're going to think, oh, he lost the beef. Why is he still whining about it? Why is he doing this? Why is he talking about hoes? Like, everything's going to annoy you because you don't like him.
Yeah.
And I think what happened is people don't like Drake anymore. So they don't like his music, no matter what it sounds like. Even if production's good and it's got bars in it, they still not going to like it because it's him. I think that's kind of what's happened now. And me, I had the same thing when I was sick of him too. I didn't want to hear nothing he had to say because it wasn't interesting. Now there's an angle I want to hear about, and now I think it's interesting. But I do think the music in general is just way better than it's been in previous years for Drake. So
yeah, no, I think so too. I thought I do wonder because I'm kind of shocked that Iceman did, because I don't know if you saw the numbers. I don't know if these were accurate numbers, but I think Iceman did like over 400K. I think one of the other albums, I can't remember which one. One might have did 200K, and the other one did 100K. I am shocked that Iceman actually got ran up like that, because that was the rap album. And I'm shocked the other albums were kind of lower, because I felt like just his history, most of his R&B shit or singy shit are the ones that kind of take off on the charts. But I'm like, damn, I didn't, just listening to this album, as much as I like the music, I didn't hear anything where I'm like, man, this is chart worthy. I think the one that is charting is the one we didn't like, which is the one with Future.
yeah, Ran to Atlanta.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, it's kind of crazy. The one song I didn't really care for, that's the song everybody, I guess, that's dominating the charts. But yeah, that album, I didn't see anything that would be dominating the charts like that, just from my opinion. So I'm kind of shocked that Iceman had that many I guess album sales, and the other ones I felt like that probably would be dominating the charts didn't really have that strong of album sales. Maybe it's just a promotion of Iceman. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he had hyped up the Iceman release and didn't even mention anything else until that day. So I think when people hear, oh, Drake got a new album out, oh, Iceman's out, let me go hear Iceman. And they might not even know about the other two albums if they're not on the internet like that. So yeah, I also think it kind of proves this is why he should have just released Iceman.
Yeah.
Because I figured he did some kind of protection with the R&B album to, like, well, just in case I need these hits to go number one, I'm gonna put them on a different album. It should have just been Iceman. It should. I think the numbers would have been even higher if it was just Iceman. I think the discussion is all based around Iceman anyway. This is the only Drake album we're talking about, really. Everybody else I know who listened to it said the other albums suck. I ain't give him no mind. So he really should have just stood 10 toes down and just released Iceman and let it stand on its own, because it didn't need the Euro dance club and all the smoke section VIP music.
Yeah.
We just needed the rap. Yep,
Yeah,
that was good enough on its own. So it's
yeah,
pissing me off, but oh well.
yeah. I think if he would have released Iceman this month, maybe in the summertime, release the song.
Yeah, hold it off a little bit.
Yeah, like maybe late June, July, release some songs for the hoes or some shit. Like I thought that would have been fine. I think, and then and I'm sure that probably would have been. He probably could have did at least a good 2K, 3K, or 300K.
Yep.
So that kind of spread it out a little bit. It's just now I feel like it's kind of Chris Brownish, where it's just so much music. Where me personally, I was turned off. I'm like, man, I ain't. I was I was a little bit nervous because when I seen he dropped 3 albums, I'm like, man, we ain't about to review all 3 of these albums.
Mhm.
And when I got the chance to kind of see what the other albums were about, I'm like, nah, I'm cool. And so I don't know. I felt like it would have been different if he just dropped Iceman and then in a month later he dropped Maid of Honor. We'd probably be like, oh, let's check this out. We probably would have, I don't know, we at least gave it a listen to at least talk about. We probably wouldn't have did a track by track review of it, but yeah, I just think now. So we listened to Iceman, we didn't get the other ones a chance, and that's it.
Yeah, no, that's basically what happened.
Yeah.
And last thoughts on Iceman. It's been a week. We've kind of been able to sit with it. Are you still bumping the album? Have you gone back to it? And do you think your initial review was accurate?
Yes, I'm still bumping the album. I still go back to it. And I do kind of question myself a little bit because it seemed like the one song I seen people not really caring for this song as much, or they felt like the first part was better and the second part wasn't good, is the Dust song. Where it started
the
off,
first part was better.
I seen somebody say I like the first part of it, and then the second part I just didn't. I'm like, damn. So do you want the R&B Drake?
Apparently.
Yeah. So I'm just like, man, am I tripping? I'm like, I thought that song was dope, man. I just like the way he was rapping on there. And you know, Drake kind of got a certain style. Remember we talked about the Pusha T style where he sounded like he's reading a scary book with the flashlight on. He kind of got a little style similar to that, where he just be like, yeah, everybody, you on the list, everybody signed up. Where he kind of got that style. I kind of like that Drake. So I still like that song a lot. I still listen to the album, and I'm telling you, this is the first Drake album I listened to outside of a week.
No, I agree, man. I actually honestly probably like the album more now than I did initially. Even some of the songs I didn't like are starting to grow on me. Like I like Lil Birdie. I didn't. Now he should probably pay royalties to Kodak Black for stealing his whole style for that song. But I like that song now. I'll be bumping it. And there's some songs I'm starting to grow on, man. So I actually just put the album on, go work out, and just let it mostly, for the most part, just play through. Now, I haven't done that for any album in a long time, let alone a fucking Drake album. Drake albums, I used to just say 2 songs and be like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm not going back to this album ever again.
Yeah, same. Same.
This is the first one I've actually kept in rotation for a longer than a day. And yeah, I actually like it more now, given a week to cook than I did initially. And I'm not going to say all the complaints against the album aren't valid. You know, I do think there's some ridiculous. I saw Jaylen Brown say some shit like, he basically said that Drake dropped the album just to get out of this deal, and it was songs with no context or story or anything. And I'm like, okay, of all Drake albums, this is the one that you can't say that about.
Yeah. He wasn't listening to the album then. If he felt like it was no, and this is one of his albums where it was a concept. It seemed like he put everything kind of together where you didn't even have to skip around to anything. It seemed like everything sound like it was in place.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, because usually with Drake albums, a lot of shit sound out of place where it just sound like a playlist. But
Yeah.
this one, it sounded like it was constructed in a certain way where I liked it. It seemed like he really took his time on this album. I understand why he pushed it back, why it did come out in December or whenever the fuck it was supposed to come out. Like, I don't know what the fuck Jaylen Brown was talking about.
Yeah, and there's comments like that, and there's also the ones that talk about, oh, Drake is just never going to grow up in his music. He's never going to talk about this. He's never going to get more mature sounding. And I'm like, okay, what do you want in this point out of Drake? You want him to turn into Talib Kweli overnight? Like, what are you really trying to say? You liked him before, but didn't like him now. He hasn't changed as a rapper, really. He's always been the same type of dude. So again, it goes back to whether you like him or not right now. And if you don't like him, or if you like Kendrick more and you picked a side, you're going to be against him now. So I get it. But me, I don't care about the music, man. I don't get that much into people's personalities when I'm listening to music. So I still like it. I'm standing by it. Ginger Juice, we stand by our Iceman review of Qualified, and we're going against the world. Maybe one day we'll get you saw Academics got his OVO chain. He posted a video of it.
Yeah, maybe one day. Now, what you was about to say?
He said he was offered $1 million cash in a duffel bag or dinner with Drake, and he picked Drake. Now, I'm pretty sure he was joking, but do you think there's any chance that could have been a real offer and he actually took the dinner?
I do not think that was a real offer. I think this is part of that whole trolling Jay-Z a little bit too. I think he was kind of fucking around with the whole dinner with Fire in the K or dinner with Jay-Z deal. I don't think he offered him $1 million. I just look, man, as much money as I assume Drake have, I just don't see him giving them no fucking $1 million. Like let's be real. Sometimes we be as fans, we be a little ridiculous thinking they just be passing out millions and millions of dollars to people and all that stuff. Some might be the case, but if we being honest, man, I don't think Drake ain't offering you $1 million or have dinner with me. I don't know. I think that was just a whole little jab at the whole Jay-Z thing. I'm sure I mean, obviously he gave him an OVO chain, but I don't think that was $1 million or nothing. So I don't believe that at all. I think he was just poking fun at Jay-Z. And by the way, Academics keep poking at Jay-Z too, talking about he passed up Jay-Z as the first hip-hop artist with multiple #1 albums and all this other stuff. So now Jay-Z is #2 and all this other shit.
Yeah, because somehow Jay-Z got roped into that Tory Lanez shit that DJ Academics went way too deep with as well. So now I think all people are carrying that Jay-Z beef into now for whatever fucking reason. And so, yeah, it's now it's anti-Jay-Z.
Yeah,
going out there. Jay-Z got to get his own version of Clutch Sports for podcasting, man. Somebody got to fight for it. Can't just be Memphis Bleak on his podcast fighting for Jay. Jay needs some soldiers in the podcast game, and if he's hiring, we're available.
It's funny too because I feel like Drake got so many people in the podcast game that won't say a bad word about him. Because I was listening to I ran across a clip from, I think it was Uncle Murder and Tony Ayo, and they were just loving up this album so much. I'm like, man, y'all don't even sound right, man. like Yayo, you was G Unit. And you sit here talking about this is what hip hop need. I mean, I do think hip hop needed a Drake album, but come on, man. So clearly Drake have a relationship with 50 and all that shit. He gave him he made that G Unit chain and all that shit during the beef. So clearly he got some type of relationship with them. And then the same with everybody else with Cam and Mace and just everybody just ain't saying nothing bad about about Drake at all. So Jay-Z do need somebody like that. Like, yo, I just talked to Hove. He ain't do this, or his response is this. We need something.
Yeah, the problem is Jay-Z's friend group hasn't changed since like 1996, probably. So all his friends are people he grew up with who are also like 50, 55, 60 years old. So they're not gonna be any young people.
Podcast.
Exactly. So you don't want to get an old head on the podcast talking about, oh, back in my day, you know.
Yeah.
So Jay needs some newer shooters, like that one GQ guy he got who interviewed him. That's a good Jay shooter. He went deep in the archives for some Jay lyrics. So that's one, but he needs some more. He needs to invest in like the LeBron stands got their own platforms. Drake stands got their platforms. Jay needs some play. He needs a defense force because everybody's feeling a little too comfortable poking at him, and I don't like it. We're the whole Avengers over here, after all, man. So, you mentioned speaking of Netflix, I saw they put the fucking Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano MMA fight on. Did you watch any of that?
Hey, I watched. Hey, we played. Watched the whole fight. Just
Did you really?
Well, not in real time, but it was like 20 seconds, right?
Oh yeah, the main event. Yeah, like 15 seconds long, man.
Yeah.
KO.
Yeah. So I actually forgot about the fight. I probably would have tuned in if I remembered, but yeah, I'm like, damn. Good thing I didn't tune in because this wasn't a fight at all.
Yeah, that was embarrassing even on paper because this was somebody Gina Carano hadn't fought in like 20 years, and Ronda Rousey also had retired, hadn't fought in like 7 years, and it was embarrassing from the beginning. But no, I don't know if anything's gonna top whatever whenever the Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson fight is. That's gonna. I had to sign off the internet for that day, man, because everybody who called that shit stupid is gonna be watching it.
Yeah, it's gonna be even worse too because I mean, for what it looked like, it seemed like Floyd is struggling with money.
Yeah,
like, it seemed like everywhere he looked, he owes some money, so he probably gonna be fighting way more than we think to try to get out of debt.
Yeah. I'm looking at when it's supposed to be. I don't know if they scheduled it yet. But yeah. Speaking of Netflix stuff though, you also brought up the Kevin Hart roast, which we've got to talk about last podcast. It happened. Now neither of us watched it. We just saw the clips like pretty much mostly everybody did, I'm sure. Surprises mainly being Cat Williams showing up. And they kind of go back and forth, and they officially end the beef at the end of this set. Also going viral for some very edgy jokes by some of the other comedians there, namely Tony Hinchcliffe, that's his whole thing is saying edgy shit. Yeah. And it was George Floyd joke in there that got people pissed off.
Shane Gillis.
Yeah, Shane Gillis over there too. So yeah, it was kind of controversial, but what are your thoughts on what you've seen of this Kevin Hart roast?
I like the Cat Williams moment. I thought he was cool. To me, I felt like I heard they made up before that appearance, but I like the simple fact that it kind of came out like, oh shit, Cat Williams here, somebody you don't like. And he pretty much stayed in that character, just calling him a coon and all this other shit. So I did kind of appreciate that. It was good to see them dap it up and all that. I felt like that was a good moment. But some other thing, Regina Hall. I'm a big Regina Hall fan. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like she getting better with age, and low key. She kind of made me want to see Scary Movie 6 or wherever the fuck that shit is. And I think I might actually try to go to the movie theater to see that. But anyway, I don't know. I didn't really take anything away from this roast. I felt like I didn't miss anything. I felt like I didn't have to go back to watch this. As far as I guess the elephant in the room, as far as the jokes, I am curious, what was the thought process behind having some type of roast like that, where you got some people that are saying some really edgy jokes, as far as like racially edgy jokes at a black person roast. I'm kind of curious what was the thought process behind that, because I thought I would understand it if it was an all white type of roast. If you roasted some white comedian or white person and you had those type of jokes, I can understand that. I might not like it, but I can understand it. But it do seem kind of weird seeing Kevin Hart sitting there laughing his ass off at some of these George Floyd jokes and some of these racist jokes. So I am curious about that. As far as the jokes overall, man, I think I got to a point where I wouldn't say it don't bother me, but I think I got thicker skin more than anybody else. Like it's hard for me to sit there and laugh at somebody making a joke about a white person, but then get mad when they make a joke about a black person. I think if it's all on the table, if everybody just making jokes about everybody, I can't be mad at it. I don't like when people pick and choose when to be, when to have this rage, this rage bait, or not rage bait. I'm trying to look for the right word, but just be raged over some shit. But the Charlie Kirk joke, that was funny. But the George, I think if we all gonna be disrespectful, fuck it, we all gonna be disrespectful. Everything flies. I'm fine with it then, but I don't like when somebody say, "Oh, this joke was cool." I don't like people telling me, "Oh, you crossed the line here," but this person didn't cross the line. I hate when people do that, man. It kind of remind me back in the day when we used to be ranking on each other or talking shit about each other, and somebody say something about you, and then when you say something back, they be like, "Oh, you crossed the line." I'm like, "No, like you, we talking shit, right?" Like, how you gonna stop me for whatever I say? So yeah, that's how I kind of feel about it. I think if they all agree that everything's on the table, then I don't have a problem with it. But I just hate the picking and choosing on when to cross the line, or you could cross the line doing that, but you can't do that. So I just don't like that part of it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think in comedy, if you're gonna establish that, it's all on the table, then it's all on the table. If you've laughed at um jokes about things that don't hit you personally, but are the same level offensive as a joke that offends you, then you're just a hypocrite, man. It's like mocking some dead white guy who got killed is funny, but then the George Floyd joke is going way too far. Now, I know they're very different situations, and I actually have reasons why I think Charlie Kirk was funny and George Floyd was very sad, but I won't get into that now. But basically, I think all should be on the table. I'm not the type to get offended over shit like that in general, too. And I think in a roast, they people have expectations for shocky jokes like that. Now, to be fair, I don't think Kevin Hart had anything to do with the booking of this show. Really, it was a Netflix thing. They put Netflix comedians on there. Tony Hinchcliffe has his own Netflix show. Shane Gillis always has specials on Netflix. Like, they put their people up there. I don't think Kevin Hart was saying, "Hey, we need Tony Hinchcliffe on my roast." I think Netflix put their people on, and he had to show he wasn't a bad sport about it, because Kevin Hart, if you know, Kevin Hart came up with some very edgy comedians himself, like Patrice O'Neal, Colin Quinn, those New York area. Bill Burr was one of them too. Those New York, Boston area comedians who just talked a lot of shit and ranked on each other nonstop. So he's heard it all. So he's not going to be suddenly acting offended on camera over some jokes. But yeah, I think in general, I'm kind of tired of the roast, man. I think it used to be cool when it was like a bunch of people friends just came up, and I think that's what happened with Kevin Hart too. But when it gets to, oh, we got to bring in this famous comedian and he's gonna say something, he don't know you, but he's gonna say something fucked up about you got arrested for a DUI or something like that. And
Yeah,
at that point, it just seems kind of mean, like a stranger just picking on you for no reason. And
yeah,
like the Tom Brady one where they made fun of his divorce and mocked him for that shit. Some of that is like, come on, man. All right. Would you say this to him if he was just like alone with you and you
yeah,
think it's a funny joke to tell him?
mhm,
So I think it's kind of got mean spirited in general, and it's kind of difficult to watch a little bit. And so I'm not a big fan of the roast anymore, man. I used to be into it back in the day, but
yeah.
now I can skip it.
Do you feel like the whole roast thing is kind of tricky to do now because you clip everything up and put it on social media? Because back in the day, I feel like people used to have roast and it was so edgy. You had to go out to find it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was broadcast to billions of people on Netflix. This was like a thing where, it was like the old VHS tapes that you wasn't allowed to watch, or that record, that record vinyl, Red Fox just doing this comedy bit, cussing and all that shit that you wasn't allowed to listen to. I felt like that's what the roast used to be, where some shit you wasn't even allowed to see unless you're that edgy person. But now it's just all over the place where, if you say something, it's gonna get out there and people gonna write think pieces about it. Kind of like in comedy in general, man. The reason why some people don't be wanting phones at the comedy because some shit get taken out of context and all that. So I'm wondering if just the state of having a roast is kind of over with now, where you can't be how you used to be.
Yeah, I think for a famous person, it'll never be dead. As long as a famous person agrees to it, people are gonna want to watch it. Like people tuned into the Tom Brady shit, people tuned into Kevin Hart shit. But I do think the spirit of it is just gone. I think it used to be, like I said, a collection of the person's friends and associates coming together and cracking jokes, and it felt friendly because it's like they know each other. But now it's like when you bring in, oh, we got to have this guy. He's gonna say something crazy, like the other guy with Charlemagne's podcast, Andrew Schultz. Like we
Yeah,
got to have Andrew Schultz in here. Like what the fuck does he have to do with this shit? So I think that's when it gets super corny, and that's why it lost me. But I think people will always want to see, somebody get embarrassed on TV or made fun of on TV. So I don't think it's ever going to die, but it's just, it lost the appeal for me when it moved away from what it used to be.
yeah, and I think now just how this Kevin Hart roast went, I felt like the next roast, I don't know if people just gonna go that edgy now, because it's kind of like I don't want nobody to pick me apart, and I don't think people like old buddy Shane Gillis and the other dude. I don't think they give a shit. But I'm just wondering if people gonna try to dial it back, because dial back the whole George Floyd jokes and some of the racist jokes and all that stuff. I wonder if they just gonna try to cut all of that out on either side, not just white people, but just either side. Let's keep it cool.
Yeah, I do wonder. But then again, if they didn't want that, they wouldn't have brought somebody like Tony Hinchcliffe. So I do kind of feel like they want that, but they also don't want to be held responsible for it. So like, hey, we didn't write the material, but we didn't know you was going to say that, but you knew what you were doing bringing him in. So I don't know if they're ever going to say, don't say this or don't say that, because I think secretly they want people to say these things. They want to go viral, and they'll let the comedian themselves deal with the blowback. I don't think anyone's blaming Netflix for what the things they said. So, yeah, I think secretly when they bring in these types of people, for a famous black person to get roasted, they knew exactly what kind of jokes they were going to get, man. They just wanted to plausible deniability, I guess would be the word for it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think secretly they want the drama and the clicks and all that shit.
Yeah. Do you think and not to go back to the Drake album or anything, but do you feel like it looked funny on Drake's part that he had Shane Gillis in this video? Knowing, I guess, I don't know Shane Gillis like that, but just with him and this edgy type of jokes, do you think that come across as a little bit insensitive? Even though I'm sure the video was shot way before, but do you feel like that's kind of like similar to the whole White House tweeting out Iceman?
Yeah, look, and we didn't really bring this up on the last podcast. Now, I don't think him doing a video with Shane Gillis is like that alone means anything, because Shane Gillis, even though he has a reputation as a edgy comedian, he's not like Tony Hinchcliffe. You know, they don't have Shane Gillis host Saturday Night Live, and most of his material is,
didn't he?
Yeah, he hosted the ESPYs, and most of he's not like the edgy guy, really. Like he says some jokes that are kind of fucked up, but he's not super make you offended man like Tony Hinchcliffe is. So I don't think him having Shane Gillis in his video really meant anything, but Drake has done a very obvious like alt-right kind of leaning in his content, the people he associates with, the Aiden Ross shit, the academic shit, even the like at this point, all of Young Money is MAGA. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Drake is MAGA too. Now, I don't believe he was flashing up white power with the Michael Jackson glove and Iceman. I'm sorry, Scarface. I don't think that's what that was. But Drake has done and I don't know if it's because of the beef or it started before the beef, but he's been associating himself with like some kind of shitty people and on that side of the political spectrum, and even shit when he said free that FTX Sam Bankman, free my guys up. Remember that guy? That guy went to jail for 25 years for crypto scamming. And he said free my guy Sam Bankman. So things like that are like, all right, I can guess where Drake is leaning. And again, I don't know if it's just he thinks, okay, since I'm the villain now anyway, I might as well be with these other edgy guys. They could help push my shit to this crowd. Or if he actually feels and agrees with them on their views and shit. So I don't know, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's trying to line up with some people that will line up with him. And yeah, I think he's just, I don't know. He don't really rap about anything political. He like, just knowing what I know now, I don't know where he stands. I don't know what side of the aisle he stands on, which is always a dead giveaway to me. Where I it wouldn't surprise me, him having his Jewish side of the family, being from Canada. I'm not sure. It wouldn't surprise me if he just leaned more to the right. So I did think it was funny. He was calling out DJ Khaled for not addressing the Palestine shit.
Yes.
And I'm like, damn, like, what are people really looking for him to address that? I don't think I ever want to hear from DJ Khaled. And y'all just want to hear what he got to say about that. But yeah, he seemed like he don't address that type of shit. So it wouldn't surprise me, man. He just seemed like a power hungry type of dude. He will line up with anybody if they got a little power to him.
Yeah. And I think also it's a bit of when somebody gets canceled, they go to the other side and suddenly start grifting like Sage Steele.
Yeah.
People like that. I think that's kind of what he's doing. I don't think he'll ever be as blatant as to say, I support Donald Trump or anything like that. I don't know if he'll go that far. But yeah, it's very obvious what side he's catering to with his content creation and people he associates with. And Yeah, I don't know. Hope it works out for him. I mean, this Trump shit ain't gonna last forever. So,
Yeah.
uh, other things. Oh, do you have any other thoughts on Rick Ross, who's still talking about Drake? Still, every time I see a Rick Ross clip, he's talking about Drake again. Do you think at this point, do you think he's like trying to goad him into another battle or some shit, or what do you think is going on here?
I don't know. It's kind of sad to me, man, because I had a lot of respect for Rick Ross. To me, this just screamed like he's desperate. And look, man, I'll probably be the one that would be excited to hear his album. I don't think I ever been not excited to hear Rick Ross album. So, whenever it come out, I think it come out June 12th. It's supposed to come out June 12th. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna get my thoughts on it on this podcast. But he just sounds desperate, man, to the point I'm scared to see what his album number's gonna look like. And I know he ain't the type that you got to check the album numbers, but he got so desperate to the point, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he sold like 20K, 10K, 20K first week, just off the strength of people just being a little irritated by him. And it's kind of coming across as weird. Like, dog, I understand you might not care for Drake anymore. I understand doing interviews, people gonna ask you about Drake, but just all the extra shit, man. It just seemed like he's looking for attention, like he's looking for Drake to really say something to give him some attention. It seemed like he is trying to bait him into something.
Yeah, at first it seemed like he was trying to test the waters and see if Drake would kind of welcome him back or if he could repair that. And then he started to get a lot more meaner and meaner with shit he was saying. So I don't know. Again, I hate the fact that they're not going to work together anymore because they have some great songs together. I don't know how excited I am for the new Rick Ross album. I'm sure it'll just be okay, like his last albums have been. But yeah, I think Rick Ross has made himself somebody who has to come with a gimmick now. It seems like he's got to be beefing with somebody, got to be talking about some dumb shit, and that's not the cycle you want to be in as an artist, especially one as old as he is now. It's not a good look for you to be old and in internet drama. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll check it out, but yeah, that shit's gonna flop, and Drake is gonna make fun of him for it. So,
Yeah,
we'll
I hate that he going out sad like this, man.
So, anything else happened this week? That might be about it. Anything else? I'm sure we're missing something. Something must have happened.
Yeah, I was trying to think of something that happened last
week.
I
didn't ask you. I know you're H-Town repping, but with the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals, do you feel like you're rooting for them? I kind of wonder how Cleveland feels about this Cavaliers team that was kind of built of people who got traded, and like James Harden, Donovan Mitchell aren't homegrown guys. So is Cleveland really still behind the Cavaliers, or like what's your feeling on that?
I think they super behind the Cavaliers, man. This is probably the best team they had since a LeBron team.
No, definitely.
And so it feel good, and like honestly, like I still root for the Cavs. I like a good. It seemed like they've been a really good organization for a minute now. Like just the way they've been moving and all that stuff. It ain't a disaster like the Browns or nothing.
Yeah,
but I think honestly, I thought they had a good season this year, man. I thought the James Harden trade was a good trade for them because that got them a different type of point guard than Darius Garland was. And I think honestly, if they didn't trade for James Harden, I think they probably would have got bounced out in the first round. So as much as crazy as it sounds, because James Harden 37 and we know he go AWOL when you need him the most. But I think helped this team a lot to get where they at. I don't think they'd be here right now if it wasn't for him. So I think right now, I think Cleveland fans are behind the Cavs. Right now, I don't know if they got a lot of faith because I think that first game was that took all the energy out of everybody. So I tried to keep the faith for game 2, and that game wasn't really nothing. So yeah, I don't know. I think because right now, once they start losing, people start getting in the all season mode, like, oh, LeBron James really want to come back there and all this other shit. And I think they would have a chance to if they don't win this series, I think they would probably try to go after LeBron and try to keep that same team. So yeah, I think people are I think what people are sick of is the same old good in the regular season and then bounced out in the first round or the second round type Cavs. So right now they are looking a little shaky. They are in the Eastern Conference Finals, but they look a little shaky now. So I think people are a little more confident now. But yeah, I think for sure next season, I think they're gonna try to maybe get like a LeBron James or something like that. And then I think it's gonna be questions because James Harden, he on his last year, so it's gonna be discussions if you should even bring him back. So I'm wondering if they're gonna try to even bring him back or they gonna go in a different direction.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, man. I think they honestly, I didn't know if they get past the first round at first, but they've been balling. It's a good team. And I'd rather them knock out the Knicks, but I don't know if it's gonna happen, man. They're looking kind of rough now. So
yeah, I will say it's not. I don't think it's over because even the last series against Detroit, they went down 2-0.
yeah.
Then they end up winning the next 2 home games, and they end up winning that series. So I don't think it's over, but man, they got to win this next game or it is over.
Yeah. Or they could outdo LeBron and come back from 3-0 instead of just 3-1. So hey, you never know, man.
Yeah.
Other things. Anything else we're missing?
Let me see.
Any movies you've seen? Any TV shows?
I still don't want to. So I was talking to our good friend Leroy, who works at the station with us.
Mm-hmm.
He was shocked that I didn't go see the Michael Jackson movie.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and then
how many times has he seen it? I'm sure it's been more than once.
He said, "Well, I was talking to him. He said he was like, yeah, I ain't doing nothing this weekend. I got to do this event, and then I don't know. I might go see the Michael Jackson movie again." I'm like, man. I'm like that. I'm like that's called support because I just can't. I don't know. He was shocked that I didn't see it, and he tried to say, "Oh yeah, you're not that big of a Michael Jackson fan." I'm like, I'm actually a big Michael Jackson fan, which is the reason why I don't want to see it. So he tried. He kind of sold me a little bit, like, "Oh no, this is just if you like the Jackson 5 movie, that's different because this one's from his perspective and all that type of stuff." Where I'm like, okay, maybe I bootleg it or something. But yeah, I can't see myself seeing this movie, man.
I'm probably gonna break down and go see it, man. My nephews wants to go see it, and he's into Michael Jackson. He hasn't seen it yet. My mom wants to go see it. She's into Michael Jackson. She hasn't seen it yet. So we're probably at some point, maybe over this weekend. I don't know. Just gonna go ahead and see the movie, man. I've heard it's good. I've heard mixed things in general, but I've generally the consensus I've heard from non-critics is that it's pretty good. I've also want to see that new Mortal Kombat movie. I don't know if I want to wait. I might wait for that for streaming though. I've heard that's actually good in a dumb way. So I'll probably wait for streaming for that.
How you feel about the did you see the preview for Street Fighter?
Yeah, it looks good, man. It looks really good.
Yeah. I might. I don't know. I might go see that. I don't know. It depends. I might go.
Yeah,
Yeah. I am kind of sold on seeing that new Scary Movie 6 or whatever it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think, and see, this is the good thing about the cast doing promo runs and all that shit. Because I've been seeing a lot of Sean and Marlon Wayans, which you never see Sean Wayans. So I've been enjoying every last one of their interviews.
Mhm.
And so it's kind of selling me because I think they had other scary movies, but without them, I don't know if whatever company took over it where the Wayans wasn't even involved in it, which kind of spoiled the franchise a little bit. But to see them back with it, I kind of want to see it and support it a little bit.
No, I do. Honestly, just so we can get out this loop of every black movie got to be a ripoff of Get Out. Like, can we get black comedies again? Can we mix it up? So I hope it's successful, man. And I hope it gets major movie companies to take more chances on black movies that aren't just secret white people doing evil shit or something like that, you know? Like the Jordan Peele type movies now that he's typecast and making one type of movie.
Yeah.
Like, can we get out this loop and have more like a dumb black action movie or a dumb black comedy? Like, let's mix it up and have some good stuff with other genres and not just the Get Out wannabe movie.
I can't tell you the last time I wanted to go to the movies to see a comedy, let alone a black comedy.
Do they even? What's the last comedy, like big comedy movie? Tropic Thunder. There was The Hangovers, 40-Year-Old Virgin, all those movies. After that, like, there's been nothing. What's the last big comedy movie that everybody went to go to the theater to see?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's a lot, man. If anything.
Like,
Not anything that made me say I want to go see this.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any. Like, the comedy genre has kind of died as a movie franchise, I guess, or genre, because it used to be you went to movies all the time to see a new Jim Carrey movie. You go see the new for a while it was Eddie Murphy, then not anymore. He killed our trust after Vampire Brooklyn. But it used to be there's certain Chris Rock had a new movie. You want to go see a new Chris Rock movie. Like these comedies where you just had to go see them. And now
it seemed like they all going to Netflix.
Yeah, probably. Streaming is
Netflix type shit.
Yep.
And then on top of that, it don't even be funny.
Yep. It'd be cheap. You know, you could tell they use the cheap cameras and like fucking iPhones to film it and shit. It only look like a real movie.
Yeah, it'd be a straight to streaming bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, another thing streaming killed was documentaries. They used to put documentaries out in real movie theaters, and now you don't see them anywhere being filmed. It's always straight to streaming.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you could look through Netflix or whatever and just see a whole shit ton of documentaries. You like, they got a documentary about this?
On any historical event, you look up fucking OKC bombings, 5 documentaries on that, 9/11, anything you think of, there's a documentary on it probably on Netflix. So
yep, Netflix and YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah. But Scary Movie 6. I think I'm actually go see that just because you barely get any fucking comedy shit now. So
I might. I gotta think about it. But I might go ahead and step out to the movies this month.
Yeah. Are you playing any video games? Really?
Not really. Oh, Bravo, what's up? Bravo said, I just watched a crime doc about a girl running into a building at 100 miles per hour to kill her boyfriend and friend.
I just watched that too, Bravo. So this actually happened in Northeast Ohio.
Oh, okay.
This was in Strongsville. So I kept seeing people talk about that. I'm like, let me watch it. And I found out they were from Strongsville, which is like, it's like 30 minutes away from Cleveland, and like going down like south of Cleveland. So I'm like, that it was a real fucked up story, man. I don't know if you interested in that type of docs, but the girl, she was in the car, got up to like 100 miles an hour, crashed into a building, killed everybody in the car. She survived, and she was out for a few months and all that shit. Ended up getting arrested, and then she probably gonna spend the rest of her life in jail. She actually got charged for the murders.
That's crazy. Bravo says, yeah, super crazy and interesting to see how the detective determined she was for show did it on purpose. That reminds me of something that just happened, I want to say like last week. That woman got sentenced, the woman who poisoned her husband with fentanyl and then wrote a book about getting over his death. And like, so basically she killed her husband, then wrote a book about dealing with grief, like a children's book about dealing with grief after her husband died. And she got super famous, and then they found out that she poisoned and killed him. So she got life in prison.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's some evil shit, man.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with this one. And the thing, it's so crazy because when I'm going into it, I'm thinking like man, no, it was a car accident. Like, how you know she did this on purpose? Because she could have killed her damn self the way she was driving. But they looked at all the records, or because the car got the little shit that's similar to a black box, where you can see if they hit the brake at all or if they let off on the accelerator. And she was going down the street, and she never did. She didn't even attempt to hit the brake. She didn't attempt to let off the accelerator. It was just said it said like 99, 99, 99 all the way until they crashed. And then they got some more information saying that I guess her and her boyfriend was fighting about something, and it was all there where I'm like, oh shit. Like it sounds crazy that she would try to kill somebody in the car or kill people in the car, knowing she was in the car too. But like she survived it and the other two were dead. And I'm just like, man, like just imagine going through something like that. You out for a few months and then now they come back and say, oh no, you did that shit on purpose. We charging you with murder. So no, that shit was crazy, man. And then the parents is all fucked up. Oh yeah, Bravo just brought this up.
Think about her parents.
Her parents. And look, it's hard for me to sit there and say I wouldn't give a damn about my kid if he did something like that. But they were being ridiculous, man. They tried to act like she was just a perfect princess and all this shit. And this girl was pretty much an asshole from how it came across. So yeah, no, her parents was something else. And I think it was a scene in the courtroom where the mom was sitting there talking to the judge, trying to plead for her daughter to, not go to jail. And the judge like, hey, you being real insensitive right now. The parents are in here that lost their kid, and you talking about some let your daughter go. And I think she ended up saying something like, well, the kid in the back, they didn't really know each other like that. And like she was saying some real fucked up shit where I'm like, man, these parents don't give a shit. They just glad their daughter is good. So it was kind of fucked up.
That sounds fucked up, man. Was this on Netflix, you said?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's called I think it's called The Crash. Yeah, The Crash. Right. Yeah, I think it's cool watching just to kind of see how crazy that situation was.
I might check it out when I get Netflix again, man. Bravo said, man, he just had a daughter, would have felt like a complete failure. Yeah, some people are built different. Some people don't give a shit about their kids, man. It's just wild.
Yeah, like I kind of feel for it. It's one of those situations where everything around is just sad. Like there's no justice for anybody. You ever seen those situations where there's no justice? Even if somebody go to jail, there's no justice no matter what. Mm-hmm. And I feel bad for the parents, but man, that's something you just gotta face as a reality, man. Like this is something your kid did, and you can still support your kid, but man, you sound crazy sitting there saying they don't need to be in jail for what they did, and it's clearly evidence that's saying she tried to do something bad. She ain't the first kid that did something bad that's a that end up being a lifetime decision type shit. So it's a good documentary. It's something. I think it's only like it's like an hour and a half. So it's a little long of a documentary, but I think it's pretty good. It's only one episode, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's I might go ahead and check that out. There's always some crazy documentaries on Netflix. And there's always like some true crime shit too. That true crime shit is just instant money for whoever. Like all the podcasts of women talking about these nasty, gruesome murders, and the whole documentaries about like this one thing that happened in Ohio. like anything that happened that's fucked up, we're gonna get a documentary on it at this point. Where it used to be only big shit that really got. Now is anything that happens that's fucked up, we hear a documentary about it.
Yeah. It's crazy too, because you'll get the documentary and then they'd be like, oh, if you like this, check out the podcast. And you're like, okay, I want to check out the podcast to learn more information about this fucked up crime that happened. So it leave you going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I might go ahead and check that at some point, man.
Yeah.
Scrolling.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, that new GoldenEye game come out. Or is it GoldenEye or 007 game come out?
Oh, 007, yeah.
Not GoldenEye. I was thinking about Gold. Oh, here's another thing, man. So I was talking, our guy Byron who works at the station.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him about that game. I'm like, hey, you ready for that game? Because he a video game person. And he like, oh yeah, And I'm like, yeah, kind of remind me of I told him I was pretty excited about it because I was a GoldenEye kid growing up, and he had no idea what that game was. He's younger, but he had no idea about the old school GoldenEye game, 007 GoldenEye.
Wait, how old is he?
I think he got to be maybe in his late 20s. I'm not sure, but he ain't know what it was. And it was somebody that was in the room working on the thermostat, and he like, oh, GoldenEye. I think he was probably my age, or a little older.
Yeah.
Now I was sitting there. I'm like, man, Byron, listen, young buck. This was this was Call of Duty before Call of Duty. I'm like, it used to be all four of us playing this game, man, and we had to kill each other. So so anyway, that kind of got me excited for the game a little bit, just the whole 007 thing.
Yeah, that would have offended me too. I don't think he's young enough to not know what GoldenEye is. I always see if you don't play games like that, but if he's big into games and don't know what GoldenEye is, like, wait a minute, man.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think that's possible. There are games made before I was born that I know. Fucking Super Mario Brothers. I can act like the fucking Super Mario. It was made before I was born.
Yeah, but he had never. I don't think he ever heard of GoldenEye or played it, or I know he didn't play it before. But I'm trying to think if he never even heard of it. But I'm like, man, GoldenEye.
Yeah,
man,
that's wow.
No, that game was legendary, man. Just having four people over, it was literally Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Just a local Call of Duty, not online shit, but just Call of Duty.
Yep. No, it's fire. I don't think this game is like that. Because it's like it's more like, Uncharted type shit. I don't know if you played that. Or the new Tomb Raiders. It's kind of like third person action, but it looks good.
I'm kind of looking at it like Hitman or
it kind of seems like that.
Yeah, that's how I'm kind of looking at it. So, but it looked cool though.
Yeah, I want to play it, but just not for $70. I have to wait for a sale, man.
Dog, I've been waiting on these sales. I've been trying to wait on that sale of that Resident Evil game.
Yeah, I got to get back to playing that too. I did get it on Switch, but I haven't even played it yet.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got all the Resident Evil games I got to hurry up and go through. So, yeah, man, it's fucking Grand Turismo. Grand Theft Auto 6 still hasn't been delayed, so hopefully that shit comes out.
Yeah, it's been kind of quiet though, man. You ain't getting. I ain't hear people about any of that shit.
There's gonna be a big Sony announcement. I want to say, what is it? Let's see. It's called Sony State of Play. It's gonna be June 2nd, and they've announced that they're going to stream it in certain select movie theaters. So this makes me think they're going to announce something big.
The PS6.
Maybe, no, I doubt it. Not now. Not maybe if all this tariff and chip shortage shit didn't happen, but not right now. But yeah, there's gonna be some. I think it's gonna be something big announced there. I don't know if it's like more Grand Theft Auto 6 footage finally, or something else like a new Final Fantasy or whatever. But yeah, apparently June 2nd is gonna be some kind of big announcement from Sony. So maybe tap into that.
Yeah. When is this again?
June 2nd.
June 2nd. Okay.
It's what day is that? It is Tuesday. Okay. So I want to say it's like 5 p.m. or some shit. 4 p.m. our time. So lock in, man.
Yeah.
All right, that about does it for sure. I think we've done scratched the barrel of news, and I don't think there's anything else going on. So yeah, short little 90-minute podcast from us. This is short for us, by the way. You know,
yeah, we need to keep it like this, man.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I think my dad, when he heard about our podcast, he was like, "Yeah, I saw you guys on the podcast, and it was like 3 hours long." I'm like, yeah, man. Sometimes we just get into it. We fucking a lot to talk about. So yeah, you might keep it like this for the future podcast. Just quick little check-ins and talk about whatever's going on. So yeah, appreciate y'all kicking it with us. And until next time,
peace.